everybody. I just got back from lunch, from a work lunch. So I need to change my clothes, and then we're going to go take the wheels off the car and look at the condition of the tires. I can tell you my front tires, they're pretty dead. The rear tires feel fine, but I can tell you the front tires, I'm having a tough time holding the wheel, get the car go straight when the pavement is not smooth or I'm in a turn. It wants to turn more to left or right than it should. Let me say that a different way. It's not trying to turn opposite of a turn. When I go into a turn, it's turning, it's leaning into the turn very easily because the camber, but the camber is artificial because the tires are more worn on the inside. So if I'm turning left, it's turning sharp left. But also when I'm pushing the car, as I did today, I was pushing a little harder. It does have a small tendency to understeer because of the level of wear on these tires. So let me have a coffee, change my clothes, and then we're going to pull the wheels off the car and check the condition of the tires. Because of the way the 911 is made, if I jack it from the rear jack point only, I can lift up the whole side of the car. So we'll be able to pull off both front and rear wheel on one side, and we'll look at them. I suspect the rear wheel is going to be not too bad, the rear tire, but the front tire, I think, are pretty much, they're dead. It's not going to make the road trip based on how it felt today. So I'll go change, and we'll go check out these tires. All right, we're changed. Let's go pull the wheels off the car. Did you guys think I was going to do that on a slanted driveway? You crazy? Well, let me get the Porsche in here on flat ground. We'll do it in the garage where it's flat, not on a slanted driveway. 1 sec. Tires on the passenger side are off, and they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be when I initially looked at them. When I pulled them off and just looked at them, I was kind of surprised because they don't look too bad. And then I rolled them and I realized what's going on here. Let me show you. Tire, obviously that's the rear. Now the rear looks pretty good. It's not that bad. I'll take some measurements in a second, but if you look at the tread depth, you can see that it's deeper here where that's the wear bar versus out here. It's less tread depth on here. It is uniform, pretty uniform, but there's less tread depth here. Also, you can see right here in the middle, it kind of is not, it's not even. It's like it's higher on the shoulders. So something's going on with this tire. But overall, it's not too bad. This one, when I first took it off, I was like, oh, there's plenty of meat on there. But then look at this inside shoulder, how much lower it is. And what you can really tell is when you roll it. When you roll it, you can see that this strip here is a lot lower than these 3 bands. If this was the same height as this tire would still be good. So it's hard to pick up on camera, but this inboard side is much lower tread height. Well, you can see it right there. Look at the difference in height. That is what's causing me, basically when I'm driving, it's causing the tire to do this. When I'm in a turn, it's causing me to lean more because of that height difference. And it's hard to pick up. There you go. You can also see how uneven it is because here's the outside of the wear bar and it's flush with this tread block. But then look at the inside. See how it's below the tread block, but it's flush here. That's because of uneven wear. That's because of a bad camber. which we will get that fixed. We need new tires first. So now since I got this off, we're going to wash them. Actually, before we wash them, let's measure them real quick. Here to measure tread depth when it's not on the car. So start with, that's the face, so that's the outside of the tire. And we will put this in millimeters because they're easier to understand. Now we can put it in 30 seconds, that's fine. This tire originally comes with 9/32. So if it's 4.5, that means it's half, right? So this tire has 4/32 right now on the outside. So it's half worn on the outside shoulder. By comparison, let's go here. Inside shoulder, we have 3/32. So this tire is not too bad. 3 to 4. We could still use this rear tire if we wanted to. Let's look at the fronts. I think we know where this one's going. So the front tire is 30 seconds. It's right at the number 4 mark. I'll zoom in. So it's right at the 4. All right, let's move it to the outside. I'm pretty sure that's going to be, if I can get it to stay on there. That is that even 3 or is that 2? That is just under a 3. It's just under 3, but also look at the bottom of it. It's not even flat. So much higher on one side than the other because of the uneven wear. So it drops off a significant. Look, see where the 6 and the 3 are? Look at this significant drop off in tread depth from here to here. So this tire is wearing at an angle, and that's why it's bouncing around. The other thing I need to look at, you can rub this, let me zoom out, sorry. You can wear these down and it can look okay, but then if you look at this inside shoulder, this car doesn't have it because it's light, but heavy cars like electric vehicles will bust this edge right here, and you'll see cord coming through here before this tread block wears out. But that tread block's pretty low anyways. Could we get away with still running this tire? Yes, I think so, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm already fighting the steering wheel a little bit. Not fighting it so much as if I'm on a uneven surface, definitely got to have both hands on the wheel. So this is just one side. Wonder what the other side looks like. But before we do that, clean the wheel, let's go to the garage, or the shed, I should say, and measure that. So I'm going to measure this in millimeters because I can't remember 30 seconds over a millimeter, but I can remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a lot easier. So let me remeasure this in millimeters so we'll have a comparison. Let's start with the inside or the face side of the rear tire. So we are looking at about 5 millimeters. No, I'm sorry, 4. That is right at 4 millimeters on the outside tread. Let's go to the inside tread, which we know is going to be less. Inside tread, make sure this plunger's all the way down. I'm holding it and just pushing it down, okay? So that is 3 millimeters. 3 to 4 millimeters on the rear. Let's look at the front tire. Gotta find a good spot to hold it. What's that? That's 3 or is that a 2? I would call that a 2. Yeah, because you can see the 2, see the head of the number 2 there? Let's call that about 2.5 millimeters on that. 2.5 millimeters there. And then on the outermost, this is just crazy how deformed this tire is. 5, so that's a 6. See if I can turn it to the 5. It's about 5. So 2 to 5 millimeters. 3 millimeter difference between this. That's crazy. This was only 1 millimeter difference between here and here. So 3 to 4, 2 to 5. Let's go to the shed outside. All right, got a bunch of stuff in the way, but we can get to them. So we said 2 to 5 on the fronts, right? On the other ones, let's measure these right here. Bikes are out of the way, and I'm sitting on a lawnmower as a stool. Tires, you know that the front tires, because look how wide the rears are. So these are the fronts, and it says this is Continental's DWS, and with the S still there, that means you can still drive this in the snow. Dry, wet snow. I bet you these tires are much better than I expected. So we're gonna measure this. We're gonna look for the red number. Find a good spot. Looks like a solid 5 because there's a 6, there's a 5 underneath it. So 5 on the outside, 5 on the face of it. I know that's the face because I can see the spokes underneath. So 5 on this tread. And what's the inside tread? Oh, numbers. That's a 3. Is it fully depressed? I'm trying to hold it in place. Yes, that's fully depressed. 3. It's definitely a 3. There's my 4. So that's 3. So 3 to 5 on the fronts. So 3 to 5. So these inside shoulders are also worn like the Michelin's, but 3 to 5 is better than 2 to 5. I still not sure I'm gonna put these on. Let's check the other front tire. It's the other front tire right here. Is also 5. That's a solid 5. 3. About 3.5. 3.5 to 5. So this is actually closer to 4 to 5. These are actually more uniform on both of these fronts. Let's check the rears. They're still kind of low, but let's check the rears. No, that's a 6. That's a solid 6. Or is it? Yeah, it's a solid 6. 6 on the face. Let's look inside shoulder. About 5.5. 5.5 on the inside shoulder. 6 on the outside shoulder. These tires are definitely much better. Let's check the other one also while we're here. That's a definite 6 without a doubt. And inside shoulder, 6. So rears on this are very even. 5 to 6, 5.5 to 6, inside to outside. That's within 0.5 millimeter. That's wonderful. The fronts are a little more worn down than I would like, but it is pretty similar on the front. The front, I would say not similar. It has less wear than the Michelin tires that are on the other car. Now, here's my choices. I have 2. I have 3 really, but I have 2. Choice number 1, do we just go buy new tires for the Michelin BBS CHR wheels and throw the new tires on there? Let's call it $2,000. It's about $2,000. You got to get the tires, you got to get the alignment. It's about $2,000. Okay. Option 2, I put the OEM classic wheels back on with these tires that are on there, and we just roll with that. These have never, ever given me grip issues. I have no problem with balance. Well, a little tiny bit balance, very minor, very minor. They look great. The only thing I don't like about these is the diameter difference between front and rear. It's bigger than what you should put on there. It's bigger than even the other ones. So that's the only thing that's my only issue I'm concerned about. Option 3 is I do absolutely nothing, and I just keep driving my car until either I blow a tire. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me think about it here for a few minutes before I move forward. Make my damn mind up. I'm gonna measure these in 30 seconds. All right, front tires. So front tire, that's about a 5, 30 seconds. Get it to focus. It's close to a 5, 30 seconds. Still close to 5:30 seconds. Front tire, generally speaking, about a 5:30 seconds on both of these. Rear tires, that's almost an 8. Same thing. It's almost an 8. So OEM wheels with Continental tires, 5:30 seconds on the fronts, about an 8:30 second on the rear. Pretty close inside and outside shoulders. Let's go measure the other wheels again. Garage, let's measure these wheels real quick. We're going to use 30 seconds this time. So rear tire, the other one outside was at 8. These are at about a 4. That's about a 4:30 seconds. So twice the meat on the Continentals. Same thing, out of 4. Front tires. See, I'm not cheating. 3:30 seconds. Well, we say 5 on the other Continentals. And that's about a 6:30 seconds. This tire is just badly deformed. So 6:30 seconds, 3:30 seconds, and 4 and 4. So the rear tires are even. These rear front tires are really badly deformed. Let me check one more thing. My calibrated measuring tool here. This is my calibrated measuring tool, aka a paint stick. So calibrated measuring tool on the rear wheel, that's pretty dead even. So that's pretty good for the rear. Front tire, boy. Yeah, Houston, there's your problem. There is the problem why the car won't go in a straight line. Look at that. All right, if I hold it on the outside shoulder, look at the gap difference. Put it, if I try to center it on the tread in the middle, look at this. I got it to stay. Look at how deformed that front tire is. So all in all, these classic wheels with Continental tires are much better shape and less worn than the Michelin tires that are in the garage. The Michelin rear tires that are in the garage are more uniform, but they have less tread on them than these that are sitting here. The front tires are just, they're terrible. So I could put these on. Let's go talk about it. Here's the plan. Plan A. I already talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it again now that we have definitive proof of tread depth and tire wear conditions. So plan A, we do nothing. We leave the car as is. I'll go buy some tires. I'll spend $2,000 between tires and an alignment, get some new tires for this car, and the new tires will run. We'll run Michelin's again, but we'll run the PS4s probably. So we'll put Michelin PS4 tires on the existing BBS CHR wheels, which are those. We'll put those on there, $2,000. That's plan A. Plan B, we swap wheels. Put the other wheels on, and we just drive those as is. No alignment, no nothing. We just freaking drive it. Just take it as is. Let them wear however the hell they're going to wear, because we don't care. We want them to wear down. And then we just drive them till wintertime gets here. Then we put winter tires on that. And then next summer, we'll get summer tires on the BBS CHR wheels. So we'll be buying tires twice. Well, with plan A, we'll buy tires twice also because I'll get summer tires on the CHRs, and then I'll have to buy winter tires for the other wheels. Plan C, so A, new on existing wheels. B, swap original classic wheels back onto the car. C, do absolutely nothing. Just drive it till something blows up or dies. What do you guys think I should do? Put it in the comments, because I'm probably going to read your comments before I make a decision, maybe. One thing we are going to do, no matter what, we're going to clean these wheels, because they are filthy, especially this front wheel that has grease from when that CV axle busted and they wiped it out, but they didn't clean the wheel. So we need to clean these wheels on the inside, because if we do go with plan A, the inside barrels need to be cleaned so that sticker weights can stick to them, because they don't really do a good job at cleaning them off when they add sticker weights. A lot of times they just put them on and they fling off anyways. So let's clean these up. That's plan A. Well, haven't decided plan A, B, and C. You guys are going to tell me plan A, B, and C. Right now, I'm going to clean these wheels. There's actually a plan D. Plan D is I leave the rear tires as is because they're pretty uniformly worn, and I replace only the front tires, and we drive it through the summer. Well, no. Yeah, but Porsches wear rear tires faster than do front tires. I don't know what the hell to do. I will say it is very satisfying to look at wheels clean when the inside of the wheel is also clean, especially on the rears, because it lets you realize how deep they go to the brake. That's something, huh? All right, so I'm gonna do the other side off camera. You guys don't need to watch me pull off wheels and clean them. It's gonna be the same thing I just did. So I'm gonna pull the other wheels off, clean the inside barrels, put them back on, and then I'll wait for your feedback to decide what I'm going to do. Because swapping wheels is actually not that hard. So if I do decide to put the classic wheels on, it'll be super easy. I've already kind of formulated a plan, but I want to see your guys' comments and responses on what wheels and tires I should run on here. Actually, I didn't ask you that. So go ahead and give me your feedback too. What wheels and tires do you think I should put on the car? I know what tires I want to put on, and I'm pretty sure now I know what wheels I want to put on, but I want to see your feedback before I do it. These wheels right here are super, super, super photogenic. But when you see them in person, this wheel versus the classic wheel just looks really, really, really good as well. These look good when they're clean. When they're dirty, if I had to choose a dirty wheel, I'd rather have the classic wheels when they're dirty. That's a hint as to what I'm picking, but I have an idea. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to pick, but tell me in the comments what wheel and tire combo I should be running on this car. When I say wheel and tire, I'm not going to buy a new wheel. I am going to buy new tires, but I'm going to run either the CHRs or the Sport Classic wheels, the 5-spoke classic wheels that I have in my background on my channel. If you look at the background picture of my channel, those wheels or these wheels, which ones should I be running? Which tires should be on it? Should they be summer or winter? What do you guys think? Wait for your comments before I make my decision. That will be the next video. I'll make my decision based on your guys' input. Have a good week. Catch you later. Since this is a midweek video, not my usual once-a-week video, I'm going to put a poll in the community tab or wherever I put it on YouTube. I'm going to put a poll in. Yeah, shut up. My lunch is ready. And you guys tell me in the poll what options or tires I should go with. And that will be in the next video next week. So next week, you will see what options and tires we went with. Probably on Monday or Tuesday. All right? Let me know.